This is Lee with A2 Game of 12 here on YouTube channel Sons of Liberty 75. And I'm continuing the playthrough of CA, Tactical Naval Warfare in the Pacific, 1941 to 1945. This is the fourth scenario, which has to do with the, I guess it's the first naval battle. Well, I don't know if it could be the first. It occurred in 1943. So maybe it's the first ship versus ship. Not, of course, not aircraft carriers, not involving aircraft carriers. So this here is Savo Island, and down here in this corner is Guadalcanal. So this is occurring between Savo Island and Guadalcanal, and that direction there is north. So, and let's see, we're in turn 3. And we're in the gunnery phase of the Imperial Japanese Navy. What do I do with my tweezers? Wow. Did I drop them or what happened? Set them up over here. So, we, in the last video, we had fired these 2 units, but I don't think we hadn't fired this destroyer who, let's see, okay, the speed is reduced. So we've got both of these units can fire, and let's see here. They fire with this, let's see, I think they're going to fire with this battle cruiser there, which is the Kirishima. So that would be, of course, the Japanese battle cruisers. The Haiya and the Kirishima both had bombardment ammunition prepared. So that ammunition was not armor piercing, and so the effectiveness of their shells, salvos, are going to be less than if they were firing armor piercing. So the game rules, or the scenario rules, stipulate that the strength, which for both of these units is 23, it's the top left number, is halved. So that's going to be 11. You round down. So we've got 11, 3, and 5. That's 8, 19. 19. And they're firing at this one, which would be the Portland, with a strength defense of 5. So almost 4 to 1. It's going to be 3 to 1. We got a 3. 3 to 1. that's going to be weapons. So, where's our weapon? All the there they are. So we put a weapon token underneath that halves their strength. All right, so let's go over here to these two here. Well, this one can still fire, but it's halved. The weapon's halved. Should just be a weapons marker. Weapons marker, and then so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be a strength of 1. It's going to be it'd be a strength of 7. Really, it's not going to. It's just going to be 1 to 1 right here. So they have to get a 1, roll a 2. So okay, so Bruce, that battle cruiser back there is the Haia. And they're going to fire here. So that's 2 to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be 3 to 1. No, 2 to 1. So that's 11. That's 14. If I add this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that's 6. That'd be 17. 3 to 1. 3 is going to be weapons. Here's some weapons. So I can just get a power and weapons for that one. Okay, and then the last 2 units will be this unit and that unit. And they're going to fire at, let's see, fire at this destroyer. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's 6 to 2, that's 3 to 1. Got a 3, so it knocks up weapons. And so that takes care of the gunnery phase. Now we go to the torpedo phase. And so right here, they're firing their torpedo right there. unit here will fire torpedoes there as well. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's not, they're going to fire separate. Well, let's go with this one first. They're going to fire their torpedoes right there. And the torpedoes I guess they're handled the same on the combat results table. Okay, and all torpedo attacks count as power hits. So if you get a PW result, it's 2 power hits. So we use this bottom right. All right, so for torpedo hits, you use the bottom right, 19. So that's going to be 6-1. Got a 3 at 6-1 is a power hit, just 1 power hit. Okay, and then this unit here hits this unit. That's 3-1. What if we fire torpedoes here? One, 5. I can fire up to 7. So we've got 20 and 19. That's 39. 5, that'd be 7-1. Go to 2. Okay, that's 2 power hits. So that one is going to be dead in the water. Okay. This unit, 6. Fire here. That's going to be 4-1. Got a 2. Okay, that's a power hit. So it's dead in the water. Okay. 6. This one is firing here. 22 to 5. That's 4 to 1. Got a 4. It says weapons hit, but it becomes power. It's a power hit. So they've got to be reduced to 3. And let's see here. This unit fired this unit up front. 6. And this unit, that's almost an overkill there. It's going to definitely be 9 to 1. Ooh, they got a 1. Okay, so that's a PW. That means 2 power hits. So it's sunk. Alright, so this one is sunk. I'll just flip it over. Okay. He's not in range. All right. So now they do their movement. The Japanese player. And let's see here. It talks about stacking. Going through the same, another hex. We're going to go into entering enemy ship X's. You can pass through friendly ship X's. All right, so this one here and this one only have a movement of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And over here, we've got 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Getting in there close. This one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's see here. This one is fired torpedoes. I'll just put a white with one of these counters over. This one's fired as torpedoes. And the thing is, most of those should have only had, let's see, they would have only had attack. Their weapons would have been half, so it would have been 8, and 8 would have been 19. So this unit here, well, I guess they'd still be dead in the water. Okay. That unit fired torpedoes. They fired their torpedoes. Seven. 6. Okay. So here, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4. This one's only got 3. 1, 2. Yeah. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. We're going to keep that one at 7, that one at 7. This one's at 7. This one's going to accelerate to 7. Guys will stay like they are. He can go up to 6. Any of the Japanese ships that don't exit the north end of the map are considered sunk. I guess due to running out of fuel, maybe, or daybreak coming and getting sunk by airplanes. All right, so now we go to the United States Navy. So they get to fire at the Japanese. So this unit here has its full weapons. This unit, and this unit. We're going to fire at this lead unit here. So that's 2 is 4, 11 is 15, and he's at 2. That's 7 to 1. 7 to 1 is a power and a weapons. So he's going to be dead in the water. And no attack. Dead in the water. Remove that one actually. Okay. And these 3 destroyers back here. I'm going to fire at this guy. So that's 9. That's going to be 4 to 1. 3. 4 to 1 is a weapons hit. So he's going to have that and this. So he's got no weapons. Okay. We have this unit. It's going to fire right here. So he's at 7 to 2. That's 3 to 1. 4. Nothing. No effect. Okay, this unit here. Okay, half of weapons. So they're going to have a strength of 6. And let's see, this one here is half weapons. They're both going to fire right here. So that's 6 and 6 is 12. 4 to 1. 4 to 1 and a 4 is weapons. So this unit here is only half weapons now. Okay. And that would be the Atlanta is going to fire at, let's see, going to fire here. This destroyer that's, I'll tell you what, he doesn't have torpedoes anymore. Let's fire at one of these that still has torpedoes. Let's fire at that one. And we're going to get some help from this one and this one. Okay, he's going to be half weapons, so that's 3. That's 10. That's 5 to 1. 5 to 1 and a 1 is power, hit, and weapons. So that unit has to reduce speed. Down to 3. All right. We have this unit here. Hit fire there. I'm going to get a 1. Now I got a 4. All right, now torpedoes. The United States Navy, their torpedoes are let's see. I think They have a range of only 4. Oh no, it's 3. Okay, so 3. They're not close enough. This unit 1, 2, 3, they can fire theirs. But he's gonna fire. No, he's not close enough. He's gonna save them. This unit here, though. Yeah, we're gonna save them. This unit here is gonna fire their torpedoes right there. So they got a strength of 8. That's 4 to 1. 3. 4 to 1 is going to be a hit. And so this unit here has to drop down to 3. And they've taken a power hit. Okay. And so they fired their torpedoes. So that unit is going to fire there. They don't have torpedoes. So, yeah, both of these units are going to fire their torpedoes right here. Now, let's see, speed. Okay, so that'll be, let's see, 10 to 2, that's 5 to 1. They rolled a 1. That's 2 power hits. So this unit here is dead in the water. Okay. So both of them have to I'm just using a blank counter or a backside of the counter. So now we go to the movement. And they've got to avoid these ships. Oh yeah, this one here is dead in the water. All right, so this one here has a movement of 3. So 1, 2, 3. He goes to there. This unit, movement of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Then the rest of these, this one here, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 right there. We're avoiding this wreck here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And those are not moving anywhere. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so do we have any units that we want to increase their speed? This one can increase. This one could. Yeah, he's going to increase to 7. I can find a 7. It's a Japanese 7. No. Cool. Okay. All right. What's this one at? Oh, he's at half speed. He's at half speed. He better just stay where he's at. Yeah. Okay. So we've got quite the tangled mess going on here. With the ships getting all tangled up. Now, you can easily add a lot of chrome to this. And that's what these magazine articles are suggesting. Realism, some simultaneous action, and also some historical action that you could add. So you've got, like, okay, torpedo hit charts here, torpedo hit results for different, for different times of the year, 1942, 1943, and what the ship type is. So, it had to do with, a lot of it has to do with, I think, like multiple things here, but they even got like a different torpedo combat procedure. So there's a lot of really interesting things in here. And anybody that doesn't have these articles, I'd be more than happy to, you know, send you a file. I can scan these in and easily send them. I might do that and just put them as a link to the to the videos. So that's probably what I'll do. I'll just take a picture and put a link to. I'll just let's see, how can I do that? Well, I have a Yahoo account set up with this gaming site, so that's how I can do that. So that's the end of turn 4. I'm going to stop there and post this one. Now, this is the top of the map here. So the Japanese have to be thinking about moving toward that area of the map to get away. They can't. This guy get down here. I'll have to look. Somehow I hit him, I guess. I'll have to look to see where this unit goes, but you know, if you know, the fastest they can go is say 4 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so that's like 8 turns to get up there. And if they're further away, that's even more, you know. And if they don't make it off the map, then they're considered sunk. So probably turning them south here was not a good idea. They're gonna have to wheel back and just make a run for it. And the United States Navy is just looking to slow them down, so that this was taking place like between 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. So 0100 and 0200. So when daylight approaches, the United States Navy can put their Cactus Airfield can put up some planes to go and sink these Japanese ships. So that's something you have to think about when you're playing the Japanese player, is the fact that you got to strike quick and hard and get out. Even though the Japanese ships can reload torpedoes, but you want to do damage and then get out of there. You're not looking to stick around so that you can be sunk by the Cactus airplanes. This game really has a lot of potential. I mean, you've got the map, you've got the counters, you've got factors on them that you could either use or not use. So, and if you just want a quick, fun game, then, you know, this would be a naval game. And you could easily add a little chrome here or there. You could modify a few things. and make it really interesting. It is kind of a, kind of blah in not being, with not really any complication to it, or I guess maybe even realism. Like I mentioned earlier, it does have facing. I don't really know, besides the facing is only applied to movement, that, you have to turn, so forth like that. So the ships just can't be going one direction and all, shift over to the other opposite direction, which adds some realism. But with the firing, the guns had an arc, but some of these, well, it was more of the European ships that had some odd engineering, maybe, of where they put the turrets. So there were a few ships that they had 3 turrets, and all 3 turrets were in front of the forecastle, and it didn't have a rear turret, a stern turret. It had 3 bow turrets, which they would have to be mounted at or set in there at different heights. And they were not able to fire into the stern arc. So they had no stern fire arc. And I can't think of what British class of ship that was. But I don't know if it was a battleship or just an armored cruiser. But there it is. And you could easily, okay, let's just pull in here, and let's see, I'll pull out oh, here we go. So here's oops. Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. Here's a battleship. Maybe the Congo or something. Okay, so here the ship is, okay, and so let's say it's got a turret here, and then the other turret is back here, okay? So with that 41 strength, that's like 20.5 on each turret, gun strength. So if they were firing in the front, okay, which would be out, basically out, well, yeah, out this way, okay, they could also fire out this way, and like this. And of course, all the way out here, you could say, anywhere up and through here. Pull this back some. So of course, you're talking about I guess it'd be like that. Something like that. Anywhere in that arc. Okay, the front turret, this turret. Okay, and this turret would be just the same, except to be out the rear. So if we were to say turn the ship around, okay. So the stern turret or turrets would be able to fire out there. Okay. Now, if you were firing let me just do it this way. Like that. Then, if I can get up high enough, I guess I can do it this way. So, and they can turn, and actually they would be able to fire probably like that, like that, like that. Like that. So the front turret is facing this way now, could turn and fire like that, out to there, and then on this side firing out to here. And the rear turret, the stern turret, could do the same thing. It could fire out to here and then out to here, but would not be able to fire up here in this area. Same thing with the front turret, not being able to fire out in that area. And so where the enemy is located would determine how much strength could be allotted to that target. So you could do that. You could say, okay, we're going to play with fire arcs. And it's just pretty easy. You're just taking up this angle here for the front, this angle here for the rear. Okay, same thing for the front, and yeah, front and rear. But it's not able to fire up this direction because you got the superstructure in the middle of the ship. Most ships. So that's going to restrict the ability of that turret. The turret didn't turn 360 degrees. It could only turn, well, it wouldn't even be able to go, well, let's see, 100, yeah. It couldn't go 180. So probably like 135 or 145, something like that. I've got, well, somewhere I've got a fire arc diagram. So you could add a little chrome to this game with just that. And that's one of the things that's mentioned in the magazine articles. And you could also, you could add, instead of just having the plain Jane combat results here, you could also, enhance that. You could have die roll modifiers for the size of the ship. You could have die roll modifiers for continued fire on the same ship. Continue, each time that you fire on that same ship, you're counting salvos. That's what you're doing. So that you're going to be able to narrow into that target. You could also do a die roll modifier for the speed of the ship. So there's a lot of chrome that you could add easily, on your own to really enhance this game. And really, you're basically keeping some simple things to the game, but then you're enhancing it by adding different elements that create realism and make it more historic. You could use penetration values. You can easily determine the armor thickness of these different class ships, and you can easily discover what the penetration values of the different gun sizes at different distances, because plunging fire was I think it had a better penetration value. Plunging fire is when it's raining like straight down, and so you're hitting the deck, and the deck did not usually have as much armor as the sides of the ship, the hull, and different parts of the ship would have different thicknesses. And you could also dice off for what area the ship was being hit, and maybe knocking out their gun control. And making it a die roll modifier for that when they lose their gun control and they're having to manually target the enemy ships. And you've got not only the main armaments, but you have the secondary armaments, which, these larger ships are going to have secondary armaments that they would use against smaller vessels that really didn't have any armor. Like the destroyers, they'd use their 5-inch guns or 6-inch or whatever size those, so sometimes 8 or whatever. So that there's so much that you could. And you may say, well, I just go and get me a game that has all of that. Well, you're not going to find a game that's going to have all the different facets that you might want. And so why not just use this where you have counters and a map, and then just add to it. One of the reasons I started developing my own was I always liked the diagrams that are sort of like this, but not quite, of the battles that you would find. And so that's my map is just a piece of paper or multiple pieces of paper taped together to form like quadrants. Basically more space to maneuver. But it can also be easily used with miniatures by just increasing or decreasing the scale to the size that you want it. Whether you want to, you can use millimeters, centimeters. You could use meters, I guess, whatever scale, it's easy to just change the scale. And just using a chart, and the chart will give you knots and distances for what a centimeter would be or a millimeter would be. You know, each millimeter is this distance. You know, and it's you know, like yards, or you could say you could turn it into meters. It's not rocket science. It's just simplified increasing or decreasing the scale based on what size measurement you're using. So I can see a lot of promise with this, and maybe that's something I'll do is I'll start coming up with some different Chrome that can be used with this, and then I can, you know, do a video over it and post some of that for people to use that might have this game. But it could be, you know, it could be with any naval game, World War II naval game that has a hex grid, okay, and counters. It could still be used. You can even use, like, say, Avalanche Press. Their let's see, their naval series that they have with the longer rectangle counters and the ships and everything. They don't have they have a battle map, but they don't have just a map of, you know, they got an operational map. They don't have a tactical map besides that little battle board. Okay, it's not, there's not enough space there, so you need more space. But you know, you could easily probably use their counters on a map like this, or print off your own map. You know, just open ocean, and then you could lay down tiles that have land hexes or land forms. So just some different ideas. So I don't know if they'll actually play this all the way through, but I picked it up because I was interested into seeing what the rules were, and maybe be able to do something more with it than what is actually provided in the game. Oh, I've house ruled lots of things, lots of different games. I find it kind of interesting and fun to do that, to make the game more historical or make it more interesting to play for me. But there we go. So right now we've got one United States Navy destroyer that's been sunk. But we've got quite a few ships that are unable to move. And let's see, I thought that the Japanese had a ship that was out here, and maybe I moved it by mistake. No, I guess not. Well, what's this one? This one probably, I think I might have moved it. I think it might have been out there. I think it was right here, because I was putting this on top. Put this back out of the way. So, okay, so the Japanese have 1, 2, 3, and they're all destroyers, I think. Yeah, destroyers that are not going to be, they're not able to move, dead in the water. And the U.S. Navy has both of their armored cruisers, their big ships are out. They're down in, dead in the water. So if the Japanese can sink those, that, let's see what the victory points are for that. Looks like 5. So it would be 10 points if they're both sunk. Otherwise, it's going to be based on whether, what kind of damage they've got. Yeah, I'll stop it right there and pick up with turn 4. And play maybe a couple more turns. I don't think I'll play all the way through. But gives a good showing of how the game is played. So